we're going to be actually talking about events. In 2024, events are back. And now it's like, which events do I even go to? Why would I go to an event as both a brand owner? Chris, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're up to these days.
Yeah, now we run the largest event in the world for all direct-to-consumer subscription brands.
Wow.
The event's called SubSummit. We saw a need for an event to bring everybody together within the subscription space. And as you know, more and more brands are pivoting to that model. So we built the largest event in the world for that. And you mentioned events are back. I think what's really important there is that there's one thing we learned from COVID is you cannot replace face-to-face interaction. An event, you get to meet people, build real relationships, have human contact, grab a drink, grab coffee, and it's very different. I know we're going to get into it, but that's something we learned from COVID, and it's why events are back.
I'm so excited about SubSummit. Walk me through, why do you go to events, and what's the leverage that's there?
Yeah. So I go to events because I want to network with solution providers that can help brands build and grow their business, as well as find brands that might be looking to pivot to subscription and being there to network with them. When you go to a conference, your goal is to identify something, a software, somebody, anything that might help build and grow your business. You don't know who you might meet and who might change the course of your life, right?
Yeah.
You might run into another CEO that their business model works so well with yours. You then build an amazing partnership that nets you 6, 7, 8 figures, right? You just don't know what ideas might come from a conversation with somebody that you're standing in line with to get coffee. And if you're a brand, it's not about getting pitched a bunch of sales. Like, look at your current business model, look where there's gaps, and say, who's going to be at the event that can help me within those gaps? Your mindset is, I want to walk to this event and get pitched. Like, that's your mindset. It's the wrong mindset. Who are the solutions that are going to be at this conference that do those things? And I'm going to make sure I talk to them, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a solution provider, one of the really, really important things is you can't go to an event and just be blind and say, hey, I'm going to walk around, I'm going to shake hands, I'm going to grab business cards. Yeah. No. You log into the app 3 weeks before the conference. You look at all the people that are attending. You make a hit list of 20 brands and people you want to find. You pull up their LinkedIn. You look where they went to school. You find some commonality, and you find those 20 people at the event and find a way to meet them, introduce yourselves, and show them why you can help them build and grow your business. If you go in blind, you're just giving yourself less opportunity to really make a connection and build business.
Chris, because I won't go to an event now and not go and have intentional meetings. It just doesn't even make sense to me. Why would I be there if I can't go and have those intentional meetings? It's a bit of a shortcut. Tell me a little bit about that for SubSummit.
Yeah, so when you go to a conference, your goal is to meet brands and have meetings. An event like SubSummit, we do that for you. And if you're an events person, you want you to have your sales team arrive at a conference and have 20 meetings already on the books for the event. You now get to look at that. You get to the follow-up for all 20 meetings. You get to go into the meeting prepared. And they agreed to meet with you. So now they have intention of learning about what you're doing. This isn't a blind date. They have to opt in. And so I encourage individuals that are looking at events that they have some sort of meetings program because it works so well.
The other cool thing, Chris, is that you have this 15 minutes, half an hour together. But it's not just that. Because now you have this connection. And here's my recommendation. When you go into these meetings, don't talk about yourself. That is not the point of you being there. The point is to ask the other person what problems they are struggling with. And if they happen to say something that you can solve, awesome, wonderful. People don't want to be around people who just constantly talk about themselves. I know this is such basic sales training.
You know, you hit the nail on the head. It's about what you can do for them, not what they can do for you. It's not about, I need the deal. No. How can I support their business to do something that's very beneficial for them?
Yeah. Let's talk from the brand side here too. Going into these events thinking that and having your guard up is the worst possible thing that you can do, right? You're there to grow your brand. And I've probably talked about this 7 habits guy. And one of the 7 habits, right? The culmination of the 7 habits is synergy. And if you can't understand win-win and synergy, you will not go far. You'll realize you can't do everything on your own. And you'll have your walls up and you won't be able to trust anyone. The point of going to these as a brand, in my opinion, is to find those trustworthy people, right? Because what's your wisdom for brands when they're going to events like this?
So I got a few thoughts. On the entrepreneurship, CEO, founder side, everything is about what dinner table can you get to. You have to know one thing for sure. It doesn't matter if you have a $500 million a year business or a $2 million a year business. You can always learn more. And you want to sit at dinner tables where all 6 people know more than you. That's how you learn. And I always say this, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so you can listen twice as much as you talk. And so brands need to attend conferences because you need to find the synergies, but also find those people that are really smart, that are doing things that you haven't done yet and learn from them. Really good people will help you. even if you are a direct competitor. I like to call it co-opetition. There is enough fish in the sea. There is enough revenue and consumers to go around for everybody to eat. We don't need to be a monopoly. And anybody that wants to be like that, their day will come, in my opinion. It's about giving more than you take. That all comes back around. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I know that it comes back. And it's not about competition. It's about doing the right thing. And, you know, there's going to be some people that take advantage of it. You know, it's okay. Take it on the chin. And they could still call me again and ask another question. I might not spend an hour with them. But as a brand, you go, you learn, you network. And the things you learn, you then repay it to the next startup generation that comes up after you. The next startups that come to the next conference that were where you were at the year prior. You give them advice. It all goes around and comes around. But, you know, you want to be strategic on why you're going to a conference. Are there brands of individuals you want to meet with? Again, pull their LinkedIns, find the person, find the synergies, go in there with intention. Look at all the sessions you want to sit in. Listen, take full advantage of those 3 days. You're out of the office for 4 days. It's not a vacation.
No.
This is a time to get something out of it. Like, you should be coming back with pages of notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, why would brands who aren't in subscription, brands and even service providers who are like, well, we don't really serve people in the subscription space. Why would they go to SubSummit?
So if you're a brand and you don't have subscription, I think that you're behind. I think every single brand should have some sort of subscription, membership, or loyalty model. That is hands down the case. It's the only way to build a relationship with a consumer is through loyalty, membership, or subscription. So if you don't have one, you need one, and you learn how to build one at SubSummit. If you're a solution provider that hasn't yet started to work with subscription brands, I can't think of a single solution where a regular e-commerce brand would be more valuable than a subscription one. Because subscription brands will spend more money to acquire a customer than a typical e-commerce brand. Who doesn't want to have a brand that you know how many packages are going out every single month? There isn't a solution that I can think of where a subscription model wouldn't be a better client than a regular e-commerce.
Awesome.